Beepity beep. Ha! How are we, good peeps? It's me again. Doing the thing, doing the do. How's your week going? All right, mine's going really interestingly, actually. Come across an article which was tweeted to me. So it's somebody else sent it. I can't remember who. But thank you. And it's worthwhile having a look. It's in the Dubras. Okay, now, some of you may or may not know, so here's a bit of background, of a gentleman called Harry Miller. Harry Miller took the Royal College of Policing to court and won his case to get the recording of non-hate crimes stopped. He won, okay, resoundingly. The judge, I think, said we don't have the Stasi or the Cheka in this country, and the judge was absolutely right to point out that that's what it is. So I'm going to talk to you today about what's happened since, just a little bit more news, because there's no doubt in my mind that Harry Miller and the good people over at the Good Law Project, which includes Sarah of the Fenimore, who you will know as being a staunch advocate of child protection and a legal beagle, right? Okay. But subscribe, buy me a coffee, usual. Do it! Buy me a coffee! Okay, so this is from the wonderful Ewan Somerville, who some of you will know has always been, you know, a scribe of repute in this arena, right? So the College of Policing, we've been waiting for their guidance. We're like, right, okay, you've had your ass kicked legally. Give us your guidance, right? Give us your guidance. And guess what? They've queered it, right? Totally infected. We're going to end up having to take him back to court again, as far as I can see. Let me know what you think. College of Policing accused of watering down Suella Braverman's free speech charter. So the free speech charter comes on the back of this. Police could continue to arrest people for their opinions, it has been claimed, after bosses were accused of shunning a key part of Suella Braverman's free speech charter. The Home Office published its first ever code of practice on non-crime hate incidents last month, and the Home Secretary said she was deeply concerned about police wrongly getting involved in lawful debate in this country by focusing on offence. Right, offence is taken. Remember that. It's not given. You choose to get offended. And the fact that you get offended affects me not. I don't give a toss. Get offended. So what? Screw you. Right? NHS non-crime hate incidents are where a hate complaint is filed by police despite no crime being committed. And 120,000 people have them. And many won't even know they do. You have to ask. They won't tell you. So they're recording, right? They'll show up in a background check as well. So they're criminalising you without due process. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? The College of Policing, which is a taxpayer-funded quango, and I personally think should close, provides national advice to forces, has been required to update its own manual. However, it has been accused of deploying an Orwellian and woke spin in its new draft. And it's not just that they've accused, they've done it. They've queered it. In the Home Office Code, there are 11 scenarios provided where officers should or should not record a non-crime hate incident, 63% of which advise explicitly not to record one. However, the college's new guidance has only 8. All different to the Home Office ones. So they've completely ignored the examples given by Braverman, and they've come up with their own, because they think they know better than us. They think they know better than us. Braverman represents us, the government, us. You get that, right? Democracy, the government is us. Braverman, on behalf of us, told the Royal College of Police to get its house in order, and they've ignored the will of the people. Because they are totalitarian dimwits who think that they have the ability to run the country. They don't. We run it. Right? So, 7 out of 8 of those particular things that the college came up with, those scenarios, were in the college's old guidance. They've just ignored it. Right? We defund them. Take their money. Close them down. Why is the government farting about? 7 out of the 8 of those were in the college's old guidance. This was found in 2021 to be unlawful in the Court of Appeal and to disproportionately interfere with free expression in its section on how police should record incidents. This is the victory that Harry brought us, Harry Miller. I met Harry, he's a lovely chap. We've spoken, he's spoken, he's been on, on discussion panels, and I've seen him speak, always clear, always staunch in his support for correct policing in the country. And you should have a look at his work. It's really worth seeing. He's also quite a nice little bouncy chap. So, it's quite good because he's got, he's entertaining to watch and interesting to listen to. Now, He was visited by the police in his workplace because of a transphobic limerick. What's the police doing? Do I see them arresting dolls? They arrested somebody for having dolls at a pub or something, and 6 of them turned up to take away a load of dolls. What are we teaching these cops? Go watch Life on Mars. It's a training video. I love it. It's 12 o'clock, 1974, lunchtime. I'm having oops. You remember Life on Mars? If you haven't seen it, watch it. Right, so in one of the scenarios, the Home Office provides a scenario where a xenophobia complaint is made about a journalist's view on immigration, but police do not record it as it would represent a clear chilling effect on free speech. In the College of Policing guide, no immigration example is provided. It's being run by lefty and liberal lunatics. Right, but one is given about a listener of a radio show claiming the presenter has committed an anti-British hate crime by criticising British colonialism. So they've completely queered it. They've completely queered it. The Royal College of Police is being run by CSJ nutters. You're gonna have to defund them. They're gonna have to go. We want them closed down. Close them down. The police treat this as a borderline NCHI example, but judge that the perception of hostility is irrational and that it does not constitute hate, prejudice, or racial hatred. Right? So, you have to read it. This is surreal. Absolutely surreal. Meanwhile, a clear example is included in Miss Braven's code of a complaint where an individual gender-critical views on Twitter, being transphobic, is rejected as an invalid NCHI, which of course it should be. But despite its relevance given gender-critical debates on Twitter and in Mr. Miller's case, which was all about this, it is nowhere to be found in the college's guide. which instead sees the gender-critical person become the complainant who is upset about anti-trans posters being taken down, whose subsequent complaint is rejected. The Royal College of Tossers. Oh God, it's scary but funny. They've completely queered it. Then can you imagine them all sat around the table? What about that one? No, she's wrong about that. Yeah, but she represents the people. Well, what do they know? Don't, tell me this isn't middle-class liberals. Middle-class liberal and left elites. Sitting there going, what do the British public know? You arrogant arses. Two examples about tweets and jokes being invalid NCHIs, non-crime hate incidents, even if people are offended, are also excluded from the college's guidance, which is being consulted upon ahead of Miss Braverman's code becoming law after going through Parliament. So they've had a consultation going on, they're getting the public to talk to them, but I can tell you now, they aren't going to listen. The consultation's a sop. What do we do next? Stick it on the website, ask people to write in, because then they'll do the work, and we just ignore it. Oh, good idea. That's what it is. Don't worry what the consultation says. We've got this covered. We had this covered the day after Miller won. We'll get him. Just queer it. Yep. What about the consultation? Oh, that's the public. Ignore them. Jesus. Mr. Miller, Harry, lovely Harry, founder of Fair Cop, a group scrutinising police political correctness, told The Telegraph, the police will not be schooled in the Home Office guidance once the APP comes out, which is the guidance. They will be schooled in the guidance given by the College of Policing, which will mean we are exactly where we were before. They've queered it to such an extent. The Royal College of Police has taken an overtly political stance. This is Harry speaking. The Home Office's examples were all very sensible and corrected the previous mistakes, but they will once again be shelved for the approved ideology of the College of Policing. Sir John Hayes, chairman of the Common Sense group of 60 Tory MPs, said the College of Policing has long been a cause for public concern and called to clear out some of the bad apples that are there before they affect the whole of policing's reputation. Yep, Sir John, I think that horse may have bolted. My respect for the ground floor police and the detectives has never really wavered. They do a good job, right? Okay? For God's sake, look at some of the stuff they have to deal with. But these upper class twits, which is what they are, get them out. Liberals with their 4x4s and their 6 kids. Right. That's a terrible thing to say. Naughty Barry. Don't be so not inclusive. Policing only works by consent, Harry continues. And the nonsense we hear from the College of Policing risks that consent. So this is another example of politically correct nonsense perpetuating the appalling practice of arresting people for what they believe and think. It's totalitarian. To say it is Orwellian is an understatement. I think George Orwell will be spinning in his grave. Spinning George Orwell. Somebody should make that into a top. Right? Under the new Home Office guide, reiterated by the guidance, under the new Home Office code, reiterated by the guidance, police are told to use their common sense. So they only record NCHIs that are motivated by intentionally hostility and pose a real risk of escalating into significant harm rather than incidents where someone is offended by or by restricting free speech. Toby Young has got involved. Toby says the intention of the Home Secretary could not be clearer. She wants officers to stop policing our tweets and start policing our streets, but the College of Policing, which is an unelected quango, seems determined to thwart her and has given it a woke spin. They've done more than give it a woke spin, Toby. They've queered it. They've completely turned it around. They're ignoring the Court of Appeal judgment because they think they know better than anybody else. What class of people thinks they know better than anybody else? The College of Policing admitted just 3 of its 8 examples of real-life events. They made them up. It's just... They made them up. Oh. But it says that it's included a hyperlink to the Home Office code. This is how they do it, see? So you read the book, you read the... Oh, yeah, here we go. Right, got it. Well, we had your guidances in, folks. Let's get it going. What's that link? Oh, it'll be an external source. Don't worry about that. That's how they do this. That's how they do it. That's how they queer things. The public rightly expect the police to focus... Right, so we've got Deputy Chief Constable Bernie O'Reilly. I can have to say it at some point. Oh, really, O'Reilly? Yes, that's Detective... yes, Bernie O'Reilly from the College of Policing said the public rightly expect the police to focus on cutting crime and bringing criminals to justice in accordance to the law. That's what he actually said. Not policing spats on Twitter. We have been working closely with the Home Office on the development of the new code to ensure our guidance is fully aligned and able to provide operational examples for officers and staff on how to implement the new policy. We will be reflecting on all feedback as part of the consultation before amending the guidance for publication. No, they won't. No, they won't. You know, they're not going to change. They're not going to change, but it's partially our fault. There's no such thing as a hate crime. Cut it out. Get rid of them. It doesn't matter. Deal with violence. Jeopardy. Right. Okay. Certainly there shouldn't be such a thing as a non-crime hate crime. You know, and hate speech is okay. It's going to happen. Hate speech. We've always had it. Right? And people are going to say things that are awful. But unless it crosses the boundary into incitement or other well-known, anciently codified laws about speech, leave speech alone. Leave speech alone. This idea of hate speech. Yes, does it exist? Yes. How do you want to police it? Stay well clear. And these hate riders that they put on, get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. The criminal justice system is there to deal with the criminals. It's not there to make the victims feel better. That's a separate service. This is what happens when we combine things. They're able to use their template. But the Royal College of Police are not going to change anything. They say they are, but they aren't. They've had months and months and months and months and months to do it, and they haven't come out with what they know is expected of them. They've come out with an obfuscation to see what they can get away with. These are not good people. All right? But it makes for an interesting read, doesn't it? I'll see you later, peeps. Bye.